Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Hello and welcome to Ask Rob and Rob. We've got two fine guests on this week. We've got Mike and Joe asking us questions. This is the show that people get in touch, ask us questions, and a good chap named Rob, and myself, also named Rob, answer them. A simple show, a simple format. You could say simple hosts, but that's what we do every week. And we make it very easy for you to get involved.
Yes, we do. All you need to do is pick up your phone and call 013 808 0035, 013 808 0035, or you can wander over to your laptop and go to thepropertyhub.net/ask and record a question that way. Both work equally well for getting your questions in, and that is exactly what Mike did. So let's have a listen to what Mike has to ask.
Hi, Rob. Name's Mike. Been an avid listener of your podcast for a while now. Just had a few questions. I'm coming up on a deal that I need some help on. We've had planning permission to construct 6 flats, but I have no experience in the construction sector of the property, on the property side, basically. I was wondering, is there any recommendations you can make, like in terms of construction company, insurances, or is it better to leave it in the hands of someone else? I just don't know where to start, but I know that I've got the permission and I could always sell it for a profit, but I'd be interested in taking the next step in my property portfolio. Cheers, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, Mike. So first you need to mix the cement. That's 2 parts. No, I'm not going to go there. You will not have a house or any flats, I can assure you, if you listen to me. But hopefully we can give you some advice that not only will make sure you don't cost yourself money, but hopefully make some. So congratulations. It obviously sounds like you got yourself a great deal and an opportunity, and obviously some decisions to make. Now, a lot of this will depend on your tolerance to risk and what your future plans are. Is this going to be a start of your empire and something that you want to do? Or is it just something that's landed on your lap and you now need to decide what to do? That, of course, will dictate on what you do next. Is it a one-off, or is this the start of a master plan of development? If you're going to develop, my advice would be not to project manage it yourself, as you don't have any experience, and not to site manage it, and not bring individual trades in, but just get one contractor in to come in and do the whole lot. So they will bring their own people in. It will reduce your margin, but what it'll do is make it a lot easier to manage. Now, you can also tie it in that they give you a price, and that's an all-risk price, and they have to deliver it for what they say they will. But what you want to do is get a few different contractors to quote on it and go about it that way. However, if this is just a one-off and it's just an opportunity and you don't plan to develop again, if you can see money in flipping it, why not just do that? Why go through all of this work and effort and stress and risk if you're not going to be doing developments in the future? You don't need to learn the trade, and there's money by just selling it on straight away. So it's going to depend on what your goals are and what you want to do, on which way you go. But if this is a one-off and you can make money, and it sounds like you can, I'd probably just flip it on and let someone else do the work. But of course, it's going to be down to you. But let us know how you get on. Be keen to hear. It sounds very exciting at the very least.
Yeah, well done on securing that one. Whichever way you go, you're sure to do well, because so much of the gain is made just in getting the planning. So by doing that alone, you've already secured some value for yourself. So do let us know how you get on. We'll move on in the meantime to Joe and his dog, who've taken our advice.
Hi, Rob and Rob. It's Joe here calling from Newmarket. So I was just out walking the dog, listening to your latest podcast on leaseholds. And the question came to me. So following your advice, I had this number saved on my phone so I could ask you instantly before I forgot. So while you clearly explained that the asking price or the value of a property will decline once the leasehold hits 80 years, I was wondering if you should, or if you do, see a gradual decline in property value as the lease that remains gradually decreases. So if you had 3 theoretically identical properties, one with 110 years, one with 100 and one with 90 years, would you see 3 different asking prices, or would they maintain the same? And is it effectively a cliff edge in value drops off at 80 years. Thanks as always for your help, and thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Joe. See, this is why you put the number in your phone, so wherever you are, out walking your dog or whatever you're doing, if the minute something pops into your head, property related, you can get an answer like that. Well, you can ask us the question like that anyway. So Joe's question, how is the value of a property affected by the lease term? Well, is it a gradual decline? Is it a cliff edge? Well, it's kind of both. There is that cliff edge at around about 80 years. So as soon as you get below 80, and then you've also got 60, which is a significant number because most lenders won't go below that. A lot of lenders won't go below 80 either. But it starts having such a material impact on what you can do with the property and your ability to sell it and refinance it that the curve really does get steep beyond that point. Up to that point, so from say 125 years down to the 80, there is still a decline in price, but the curve is far more gentle. So if I knew more about maths, I could probably describe this properly for you. But if you just imagine, it's a curve that's gradually going down and then suddenly it gets very steep once you hit that point. So if there are two identical properties, one that's got 110 years left on the lease and one that's got 90, yes, the one with 110 years will be worth a little bit more. Not a great deal more, but a little bit. But then if you get down to 90 versus 70, big difference. Of course, the reason for that is if you're buying a property that's got a 90-year lease term and you're going to be holding it for about a decade, then you will have to factor in the cost of a lease extension. You ideally want to be doing that, so that's something that you would have to factor into the price you pay. Everyone's going to be doing that. So there's your answer. It really is a bit of both. Rob B's golden rule is to target properties that have got 125 years left, which makes complete sense because at the end of the mortgage term, it's still not something you have to worry about. If you can do that, then that is fantastic. But if you do see something that's got even 90 years left, don't get overly worried about it. But of course, you do need to factor that in versus identical properties or comparable properties, at least, that do have longer leases.
Well, thank you, Joe. That question certainly had some pedigree.
Oh.
I won't do any more, Rob. I'll be in a doghouse. Oh, sorry, double. If you can stomach it, then do join us next week for Ask Rob and Rob. We will, of course, be back for Ask Rob and Rob next Tuesday with more of your questions being answered. But until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.